Hey everybody, I'm Arglefump, playing Great Ace Attorney 2. Let's talk to Mr. Natsume. He needs to tell us what happened last night when he was visiting Mr. Shamspear. Mr. Shamspear was apparently poisoned last night. Okay, so after yesterday's trial, he went back home. After 9 o'clock, he visited Mr. Shamspear, who lives on the floor below. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just visiting my neighbor. I had never been to his room before. It was the first time. I bumped into him. We just chatted in the hallway. He had to go out, so I said goodbye. So the victim did go out and come back. Yeah, he came back after 8. And then, yeah, it was like 9 o'clock when he visited with Mr. Natsume. They talked about the works of Shakespeare, yes. Romeo and Juliet, who was stronger? What, like who would win in a fight, Romeo and Juliet? That seems like an interesting thing to discuss. Hamlet versus Macbeth and the ultimate battle. Juliet won! Yes! Woohoo! Okay, so they kind of got into a fight over whether Juliet could beat Romeo in a battle, huh? So, Mr. Natsume, you always talk about how you're cursed. I don't like it here in Great Britain. It's very trying living in this foreign land. They all stare at me and they laugh. That's what happens whenever I go out. That's why I never leave my room. That's why I'm a recluse. But even in my room, I'm attacked by fears. Oh, wow. He moved into Briar Road last week. Gets accused of murder in this place twice? Jeez. Ooh, the previous occupant died in that room. No wonder you got the room for so cheap. But I want books, and books cost money! So I took the place. I knew it meant I could buy more books. Alright, so let's talk about the horrible history. How did the horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? Just a weird feeling. Feeling of eyes in my back watching me. It's just been a nightmare ever since I was given the keys to that place. So you're saying many people died in that room. Is that it? The same night Mr. Shamspear was almost killed, he was attacked. Yeah, maybe you should try to avoid haunted rooms. just a suggestion. Okay, well, it looks like we've talked to him about everything. Oh, Mr. Garudeb believes in this curse. Yeah, and he knows if everybody keeps dying in his apartment, he'll never get any tenants. Maybe that's why he's so concerned. Maybe that's why he pays so much attention to what happens to his tenants. Yeah. I don't think that would quite explain why he was so concerned about Mr. Shamspear. He did break into Mr. Shamspear's room because Shamspear was a half hour late. Oh, did we not tell you, Mr. Natsume? Well, I guess we're not going to tell him the truth then. We'll just say Mr. Shamspear is awake. He'll be able to tell everybody the truth about what happened, and you'll be found innocent. Excuse me. Hey, Gregson. What's up, buddy? I couldn't help overhearing what you just said, and on that note, I got some good news and some bad news. Oh. What do you want first? Every time! Bad news! When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. What? Well, in our case, good news it is! Wait, what? Sorry, it's a lot easier to explain everything that way. Why do you even ask me? As you might have heard, the victim, Mr. Shamspear, wasn't dead, just unconscious. He's come around now. Yes. Still being treated by doctors, but we got a written statement from him. It's wonderful. What does the statement say? Sorry, no, you can't leave. That's not on the cards. It brings me to the bad news. Mr. Shamspear implicated somebody. That's the person who poisoned him last night. Sorry to say I do, yes. He's pointing the finger of guilt at you, Mr. Natsume. By sweet poison did he seeketh to end my life. That wicked I don't even know what that word is. So I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court just as we planned. You'll be wanting to make necessary preparations. No! Why is my life so terrible? Is he just unlucky, or is he cursed? Doesn't really matter. I knew I'd have to represent him in court. To be continued. Oh boy, we're taking a stopping point here. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm not going to stop in the middle of the video. I'm going to keep going. Keep going. Let's save our game and keep going. So we're at trial, part 1. I guess we're all done with the investigation. We're just going straight to trial. We're not going to check out any of those places again. I thought we might go back to the hospital. So here's the courtroom. The Old Bailey. What a strange place. Gives me chills down my spine. Oh, I didn't think I'd be back here so soon. Hey, that's what I was gonna say! Oh, you stole my joke! Oh, what a terrible lawyer. It was only 2 days ago that we declared him not guilty, and now he's back in the courtroom. Now this! Another morning, another murder! Jeez! Can't keep coming to court! Woohoo! And we've got more bad news. That's just peachy. Oh, hi, Mr. Natsume. Good morning. Oh, yeah, good morning. So, we're here again. Oh, yes again. Oh, Why aren't you yelling at her? You yelled at me quite a bit. Hey, there you go! Hey, how's it going? What's the bad news? Okay. Back to yelling. Okay. Well, come on. You shouted at the top of your voice. People are gonna hear you when you shout! Trust me, I shout all the time. I should know. Is it bad news? The prosecutor? Lord Barok Van Zieks. Yes. Van Zieks. The creepy vampire prosecutor. The one who really, really hates Japanese people. For unexplained reasons. We still don't know why he hates Japanese people so much. His nickname is Reaper the Bailey. He always gets guilty verdicts. And you know, this is interesting, because I think this makes the second game in which Van Zieks is the prosecutor. They generally have a different prosecutor in every single Ace Attorney game. So it's kind of cool that Van Zieks is showing up twice. And yes, bad things happen to anyone who's prosecuted by him. The one person he prosecuted is dead. He died. The other person he prosecuted, right here, Mr. Natsume, was immediately accused of murder the next day. So, yeah, maybe there is a curse attached to Mr. Van Zieks. I'm innocent. You gotta believe me. Look, don't worry. I'll be your ally every step of the way in this trial. Oh man, this is gonna be a tough trial. I fear. Well, trial's scheduled to begin shortly. Let's go into the courtroom. No more talking about it. Let's go. Oh, and Sherlock Holmes is not going to show up at all. Well, you know what? We don't need that guy anyway. Yeah, if he was here, he'd probably just screw everything up. And, you know, I don't need him to be my helper, right? Everybody would make fun of me if I was having to rely on the world's greatest detective to solve my mysteries. Look, I will show what Japanese lawyers are made of. Oh yes, and that's right. There are juries here in England. The English court uses a jury. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I declare the court to be in session. I call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready, my lord. Readiness for the trial, my learned friend, is not what the defense needs. What you need is readiness for your inevitable defeat. It's not just my imagination, it's really there. Lord Van Zieks has such an animosity towards all Japanese people for some reason. Yes, he has had the reputation of being the Grim Reaper for quite some time. But for the past few years, he's stayed away from court. He came out of retirement because a Japanese lawyer showed up in England, and now he's prosecuting every case that I'm in just to attack poor Ryunosuke. So, not the time to wonder what's going on. I don't know. I think that Van Zieks is only showing up because he hates Japanese people. That has to be the reason why he's only showing up at this Japanese lawyer's courtroom appearances. That's my working theory. But is Van Zieks really that racist? I don't know. Let's check out the jury. I seem to remember these people from the first game. I like your hat. She's new. I don't know who she is. The British jury system is so very different. I can't believe the power of judgment is in the hands of random citizens. The judge only passes a sentence when all the jurors agree. Yeah, so if there's a split jury, the judge cannot pass sentence. Prosecution wants to point out that the defendant has already been accused of murder before. Okay, so that's why those jurors seem familiar. We brought back the jurors from the previous trial. We brought back as many of them as possible. It's very good. It manages to save the art team a lot of work when we reuse characters like this. Yes, in fact, that's basically the main reason why this trial is taking place with investigations in Mr. Natsume's house. Just let us reuse all these characters and environments. Oh man, saved us like 3 months of work. Yes. So, he's accused of the attempted murder of William Shamspeare. So, to explain the circumstances of the crime, we are calling... Woo! My coat! I mean, we're calling the defendant. And Gregson. Hey, Gregson, what's up, buddy? Witnesses, state your names and occupations. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector, Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. I'm Soseki Natsume from Japan. My government ordered me here to come as a student to study your language and culture. Didn't you say you would never show up in this courtroom again? I remember that. It was just 2 days ago. Oh, come on, please believe me. I didn't want to break that promise to myself. Right you are. Let's start our explanation. The incident occurred at the Gerdep household where the defendant lives. The floor directly below the defendant is the ground floor. Mr. William Shamspeare. The defendant visited him that night. Shamspeare collapsed in his room, poisoning by strychnine. Found the following morning when the landlord suspected something was weird. Victim didn't wake up in time, so landlord thought something was weird, broke down the door, found the poisoned body. And yes, the door was locked at the time. That's why he had to break down the door. It's because the key was in the victim's pocket. Now, the victim is not dead. He's still alive. He's still alive, but very badly poisoned. I wonder if he's going to testify, or if we're going to say, hey, he's in the hospital the whole time. I've got photographic proof here. Show what it looked like. Okay, good to have this photographic proof, definitely. looks kind of different from what I remember. Like, there's like a puddle underneath the gas thing. And the color seems a little off because I thought the soap was green. Oh well.